the fact that the only thing what I need to do is that just copy those codes which I've written inside main to the function. Now just I'll just start with now just you have to revise the yesterday lecture in order to understand the this. Okay. Now I think it's visible to you. Now what I am going to do, I will be declaring, say, I will be declaring like this. Maybe I write the same code which I wrote yesterday. Integer star a of say 5. Then I am going to malloc this. Then I am going to do a scanf to read the array. And then I will pass this array to some function. Now in that case, I will use the function, say fu function, and then pass this array A to that function, and then try to printf the array, and then I close the main. Okay. Now the things what I wrote over here, just to make you aware that whatever I wrote, this line, and this line are the same one which I wrote yesterday. Therefore, to just copy the whole code for allocation, those lines to read the array, and those lines to print the array. Therefore, just need to just copy those lines. Okay. Now I will write the function main. Now since this function is there, I will write like this: int say function func, and going to take these parameters a into a pointers to an array. Therefore, maybe I will take say integer star b correct. Now I pass A to B. Now you know that I have left those brackets blank, because in that case I don't need to declare is equal to 5. It automatically take equal to size of 5. Now if I am going to write as a printf the array B, you will get the same array as A. You will get the same array as A. Whatever you have done as scanf at this point, the same array will be printed over there. But what I will do is that I will manipulate the array B. For this, what I do, I simply write a for loop. I write star B plus I plus j is equal to, or if you are very, just I will do one thing. I will write in a okay. Now what I did, I am going to read say 15 elements over here, and let us try to do it. In that case, I am going to log this. Now, if you see in the last program, I just used like this. You see the last program, I was using like this. Therefore, if I be using the same one, I'll be using a 3 over here and a 3 over here. Just a 9 into 9. Just a 9 into 9. Okay. Now here, this is an array for 9, 3 into 3 array. Okay. Now, if I am going to write like this, what happens is that there are two printfs. One printf, which is here to print B. Now, let us take an example. If I am going to say enter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 as an array A through this scanf. Now, when I print B at this place, it will print the same one. It will print the same. It will print the same one. If I'm going to use like this, it will print the same one. Now, when I print B over here, what should it print? Anyone?
Sir, wouldn't it be better if we wrote the code in an IDE and compiled it?
I have done that. I'm just explaining you that I will do this right now. Now, when I am going to print B, it should print 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Because you have incremented each and every number by 10, therefore 1 will become by 11, 2 will become 12, 3 will become 13, and so on. And you will end up in getting this array. Now, first of all, you have to convince that if this is correct, then I will run the program. Already I have written the program, but I just wanted that to explain the concept. I wanted to make sure that whether you agree with what I have written, or if you do not agree, then we will first explain the concept, then we'll run the program.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Now here, okay, now when I print A over here, what it will print? Now, what I say is that it will print the same one as B when you are going to print the array A. Now, if you agree with me, fine. If you do not agree with me, again it's fine. But I have to explain you that which of them is correct. If you think it should print 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, then you should agree with, you should tell that, okay, no, it should print 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or what I have what I have written over here is correct. Batao? Is this correct? Or no?
Yes, sir, correct.
It is correct. It is fine. That means whatever is being written for B, the same thing will appear in A. Now you find that I did not return anything from a function. What I will just write is that since there was an integer over here, I just write a simple statement as a return, say anything. I will write return 1. Again, I will write a return 1 over here also. Just to make sure that I am going to use the concept, I just write the return 1 over here. But there is no explicit return from B to A. There is no explicit return from B to A. What is the meaning of explicit return? It means that I am intentionally passing that value back from the calling program to the call program. Now here, FUNC is a call program and main is a calling program because main calls FUNC. Therefore, in that case, function is a calling program, is a call program. But without explicit return also, it is going to modify the value of A. And that is the beauty of the pointers. If you are going to declare array A as a pointer and passing A to B and receiving it in a pointer, in that case, any changes done to B will be reflected to A. Any changes reflected to A will not reflect to B until you pass that again. That means if you are going to modify A, if you are going to modify A at this place, then these values will all go off and the modified value will come. Because the calling program is going to return only once. Therefore, if you will modify A at this moment, now this one will get the modified value. Because the calling is done from here. How the program functions, you have to understand. What it's going to do is that it is going to run like this. From here, it jumps to this place, executes this, then returns from here to here, and from here it goes like this. Now this is how the programs are traced. It is going to execute like this. First of all, it will come to this place. From here, it will jump to here. Then it will again run the whole thing until it finds a return. From return, it comes back to here. And from here, it comes to end of the main. Now, if you are going to modify anything at this place, obviously, return is at this point, and therefore this is returned after that, and it will have the value which is returned by B implicitly is modified. But if you are again going to pass a function again, the same function you pass it again that value will be modified over there, and you will get the modified value. Now, this is how actually the program is going to work, and this is what I wanted to explain you. Now, one thing what you should have noticed over here, that when I am passing A, I am just passing like this. I did not use a pointer, I did not use the size, nothing. That you should always keep in mind, that when I am going to pass an array from any function to any function, I just need to declare the name of the array or the starting location. Therefore, even if A is a 1D array, or if it is a 2D array, or A is a simple variable, you just require to pass the name. If A would have been a 3-dimensional array also, you would have passed only A. If A would have been an n-dimensional array also, you will pass only A. But while receiving that into B, you need to modify over there. That means if you are passing a 2D array, you are writing. Am I connected? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, since there is no power, therefore the router Mine is already not working. That I'm connected today with the phone just because there is a power failure. I'm running it through the generator, UPS. Therefore, the system is working fine, but the Wi-Fi is not working. Now here, if this is the case, I will be able to do. Now, just to explain you how it works, I will run the program over here and try to explain you that how the whole thing is going to work. Okay. Now I hope that this is visible to you. The environment. Just a moment. Now is this visible to you? That is C++.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Correct. Now this was the program which I wrote yesterday. This was the program which I explained you yesterday, where I had a main over there. Now, if you see over here, this is the loop for reading, and this is the loop for writing. Now, you see, this is the array I am going to declare like this. Okay. Then I am going to use the for loop to allocate 12 bytes memory to each of them. Then I use a scanf to read the array, and then I use a loop to print the array. Now, if I am going to, this is the program which I wrote yesterday. So very same, except that some of the printf has been added just to make it more, should look to be clear to you. Now here, when I am going to compile the program, and then when I am running it, now when I run it, it allocates 12 bytes 3 times. Just to give you an idea, it's going to allocate 12 bytes 3 times. Now I am putting the array. I'll put like this 1, 2, 3. Then I will put 4, 5, 6. Then I'll put 7, 8, 9. I allocate 3 to 3, and here what I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That means it is going to print the same values what I am going to print. Now, if I want to make it more clear, I could have written like this just to make it so that you will see in that fashion. Okay. Now we'll just compile, run it. So I write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It is going to print like this. Okay. And this is the program which I did in the last class. I'll attach this program also so that you can very well practice at home. Now I am going to write a program by passing this to a function. Now in that case, what I will do is that I will write a function program like this. I will just write here function, and I will pass the array A. I'll pass the array A. Okay, and then I will use this code to print these values. Therefore, I'll just copy over here and put it. I'll put it like this, and then I will copy this scan code, scanning of this, and I will put it. I will put it over here. Okay. Now this is the code for its reading. This is the function and this is the code for printing. And what I am going to do is that I will just write a return 1 and then I will just close the main. Now this is the main program is now closed. Now what I am going to do, I will be using the function. I will write that integer fu function, then I am going to put integer star b and then a bracket like this. And then what I am going to do, I will be just going to manipulate the array. Now let us try to manipulate the array. What I'll do is that I will write a loop like this. And I will manipulate the array. Okay. Now I will use the same printf statement. I will use the same printf statement over here, and I will use this. Okay. Now that completes the thing. Now here, this is the code. I will have to declare some variables. Okay, and this is the code to manipulate the array B. And this is the code to print the array B. Now fine. Now here already this is the code to print the array A, and which is the code to print the array A, and this is the code to locate memory to array A. Fine. Now this is the loop to allocate the memory from here to here, that is still here. And then you have to read the array, then the function call, print the array, function prints. Now in that case, since you have written the function at the bottom, you have to prototype it. If we just go over here, and after this you just prototype it. So this some of you might be knowing that if you write the function below main, it requires prototyping in C. Okay. Now what I'm going to, I will be just saving it, maybe as a 2D file. Let's save it as a C file. Okay. Now I will compile it. Okay. There is some expected declaration of austere at the end of the input. There might be some small problems. some mistake somewhere in the program. This is the main is fine. Then for okay, then this is okay. Then they have an okay. I missed one bracket. Not fine. So this bracket is matching with not fine. Now it's compiled in 0.41 seconds. Now there's no warning is 0. You see, there's no warning, there's no error. That is, the program is perfectly compiled. But does not mean that it is not having a runtime error. Runtime error might come. Compilation results meaning 0 means there is no compilation error. Now run it. I run it. Now it allocates 12 bytes. Now what I am going to do is that I am going to enter the array. Now see. It prints 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Okay, one thing I think it might have printed somewhere. Some might have printed over here. Right here. And it is going to here. Read the array. Read the array. Mistake over here. This bracket should come over here. Now fine. Now print the array A. I will write like this just to make sure that print F array A. Printing. A printing, and then I will write over here. B printing. Now I am writing array A printing and array B printing. Now since I am putting into here, I am printing B. If I am writing B, here I am printing A. I am writing A. So now I compile. Now 12, I will allocate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And you see. Array B printing 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Array A printing 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. It means that I just put a slash n over here so that you will, it will look to be output might look to be again I will put a slash n over here. Fine, I'll just save it, then compile it on. I'll do like this. Let's take 10, 11, 12, then 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay. It is 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28 in B as well as in A. And that means the output of B and output of A are same because it is printing the same value. It is going to print the same value. And this is the concept that without explicitly returning from the function, I can return the value of B to A. Correct? Now this is the program which we talked about. And this is the program which I explained. Now here one thing what you must note over here, that when I am going to pass the function A, I just need not do anything. Now since you have written the function below main, now this function written below main, therefore you have to do a prototype. Now this is nothing but we call it a prototyping. It's called it prototyping. It's called prototyping of function. But if you are going to write this function above main, you don't need to do prototyping. Therefore, since normally people what they do, they write main first and then they write the functions. If you are going to do like this is fine. Otherwise, if you are not going to do like this, there is no need to do a prototyping. And therefore, this is the, if I will just copy this function from here and just paste it at the top, there is no need to do a prototype. Okay. Now this is the code which I now think it must be very clear to you that till now what we have done is very correct and nothing has to be done. Nothing is difficult. But only thing is that you have to understand the code well. You have to understand the code well. That's how this is being done. Okay. Now, anything you require to ask, you have to ask me, because here I will not be able to use my pen for this having the interface. Okay. Now, anyone having any problem? I will also upload this code today on your classroom. You can download the code and you can modify the things as and when you want. Now, one thing what you should be able to know that here, when I wrote this thing, when I wrote this star a plus I over here, like this line, this you can use a normal array also. Similarly, I can use a normal array over here also. Or I can use a normal array here also. I could have used A of ij in the brackets, which is totally allowed. But since I'm using, every time we're using a pointers, it's not advisable to mix and pointer and array. I tell you again that even if you're using as an array, the output would be same. But it will look confusing that you have passed a pointer and then you are trying to use an array. But internally, when I'm using an array, it is taken internally by the compiler as a pointer itself. Therefore, internally, both are same, but externally, but there is one big difference. When you declare an array, it is always static. When you declare a pointer, it is always dynamic. But in this code, if you find over here, you see one thing over here, here. Now this one, if I'm going to use this thing, this one, this is. This 3, it is static. The only thing what you can control is the number of rows, but the number of columns you can't control. Now here, this 3, what I'm trying to do, this 3 is the number of rows. Is the number of rows. Whereas the number of columns is static over here. If you want to control both of them, you have to write integer star star a and then allocate like that. Now here it is using a pointer because I used an integer and a pointer to an array. But here you have to make sure that this 3 what I wrote over here, this 3 what I wrote over here is totally static. This one. It is static. Whereas this is dynamic. Why? Because here you can always change the thing. You cannot change that the above 3 because it's a declaration. This is a declaration over here because this is a declaration. This is a declaration by this line. We are going to declare it. Therefore, by that way, it is all declaration. You cannot change the size. Okay, is this clear to you? Okay. Now today I'll put this program to you. You download the Dev C++ compiler and you can start working over here. Now in that case, you make sure that you write an int with main. Otherwise, void will not work because it's an NC compiler. And therefore, anything you require to know, I'll be writing some of the programs to show you over here. Just in case, if you are those of you who could not understand the today class, just see the previous lectures along with this. Otherwise, anytime if you want, anytime after 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, I will take an extra class to confirm that you should be able to understand what I have done. Therefore, it's totally up to you. Whenever, because I have a class till 1 p.m. from 2 p.m. onwards, I am free. If you want any extra class on such things, And we know in the next class, I'll start with how to use a double star A. That means I will not be using like this. I will be using a double star. And then again, what I'll be using is that I will be using a function pointer to a function. That means a pointer to a function. Okay, now anything you require to ask, because stop at this moment, because today we go to the dean office. Anyone has any questions to ask? And if you feel that you
No,
have
sir,
not
thank you.
understood, it's good. It's good. You can every time, if you have not understood anything, good enough. We can always discuss anytime. If you want to have a basics of pointers, okay, we can also discuss that. One thing I will also explain you in the next class is how to handle a string using pointers. How to handle a string using pointers. Then today I'll upload the program that I wrote today, plus the lecture. And the recent lecture I did not upload, that also I will upload on your classroom. Okay? Okay, thank you for joining. We'll meet tomorrow at 12. No, just don't